The greatest tennis duel ever. Hi, everybody. We're here to talk about the greatest tennis duel ever. Now, for many of you, this is going to be an obvious pick. You're going to say it's Federer versus Nadal in the 2008 Wimbledon final. And for many people, that match deserves that description. But for me, there have been two matches that really stand out above all others when I think of the great duels that Roger and Rafa have had on the court together. But Rafa was able to find something extra in the tank when it mattered the most. This is a match that I think people forget about quite often, but to me, it has so many twists and turns. It's probably one of the greatest matches that Federer has ever played. It's definitely one of the greatest matches that I've ever seen him play. He was able to raise his level and pull off the win. That was really important for him because up until that point, Rafa is coming off of a 5-set match in the previous round. And really, all the momentum was on Rafa's side. And ultimately, Rafa pulls it out 9-7. He takes the 5th set. And it looked like at that point, he doesn't miss a shot. And I don't think anyone expected that match to go 7 sets. To me, they're the two that stand out above all others. Obviously, the 2008 Wimbledon final is also really important. It was the first time that they played on grass. It was a 5-set match. And it was the first time that Rafa had ever beaten Roger on grass. Subscribe for more videos and leave your thoughts below. Who do you think had the edge in these matches? And which match was better? I mean, maybe aside from the bookmakers, everyone thought that Rafa was gonna win in 4 or 5, but Roger had other plans. He played arguably the best tennis of his career. And he was able to pull off a victory that nobody thought was possible. He serves great. He returns great. And he wins the set 7-1. He takes the match to a 7th set. And then ultimately, Rafa was able to raise his level and win the 4th and 5th set. To me, that match is symbolic of what their careers have been like. Roger has had the upper hand for the majority of it, but Rafa always seems to find a way to make a comeback. And then at that point, you could tell that Rafa physically was not the same. His shoulder was bothering him. He was limping around the court. And Roger was able to take advantage of that. He got the early break and he cruised to the finish line from there. He was gonna cruise to the finish line. But what happens? Roger finds another gear. He breaks Rafa early in the 1st set. Then he goes up a break in the 2nd set and looks like he has gonna take control of the match. But Rafa is able to get that break back. He takes the 2nd set tiebreaker. He goes up a break in the 3rd. Roger breaks right back. And suddenly we're in this slugfest. They've been able to elevate their games and play their best tennis against each other. And that's what makes this rivalry so great. And that's why I think it will continue to live on long after they retire. He had beaten Federer in for straight matches. He had taken 2 sets off of him at Wimbledon in the previous year's final, and he was playing unbelievable tennis. He hadn't beaten Roger on clay. He had played him twice, lost both matches. And so to get that monkey off his back, to finally beat Roger on clay in a 5-set match, it was really important for him. And I think that was a turning point in their careers. After that, Rafa went on to win the French Open 6 more times, and Federer didn't win any more times. So that Roland Garros final was really important for him, and it was an amazing duel. Even though the quality might not have been spectacular, the drama certainly was. Now, obviously, they have played each other a lot. They've played each other over 40 times. There are some really great matches that stand out. But today, I want to talk about 2 different ones than maybe the one that most people would pick. So the first match that I thought of was their first meeting at Roland Garros. Rafa goes up 40-love, has a chance to break early, but Roger is able to get it back to deuce. From that point on, Rafa never breaks serve again in the match. Instead, they go into a 5th set tiebreaker, and this one doesn't disappoint. It is a match that these guys remember very clearly because it was actually not a great start to a rivalry. Both players played really bad. Both players made tons of errors. He won the first set, lost the second set. Then they went into a third set tiebreaker. In the third set tiebreaker, there was a moment where Rafa was down 6-3 in the tiebreaker. And then he stopped throwing in the towel. He started playing better. He got the mini break back. He got another one after that. And suddenly he found himself with a 7-6 lead in the third set tiebreaker. Both players were tight. Both players were nervous. It was the first time that they had met each other in a major final. And again, I think if you asked a lot of people who watched that match, what did they think? Their assessment of the quality of play would probably be pretty low. But the reason why I think it's such a great match, and it's definitely in my mind the second greatest duel that these guys have had, is because of what happened at the end. So Rafa won that match, but it was really interesting to see how at that point in the match, both of these guys were so even. The next match that I wanted to talk about was their 2017 Australian Open semifinal. He comes into the match as a big underdog against Rafa, who is the defending champion. From the very beginning of that match, Roger was under pressure. But instead of folding, he raised his level and he starts playing some incredible tennis. For me, the key moment in the match was at the beginning of the fourth set. We've got everything in this tiebreaker. There's a little bit of controversy. There's amazing rallies. There's unbelievable tension. In the sixth set, Roger plays what to me is the best tiebreaker of his career. He plays a perfect tiebreaker. The entire match was 2 hours and 59 minutes. These guys literally left everything on the court. So those are two of the greatest duels that these guys have ever had. And to me, that match perfectly encapsulates their careers. They both served for the championship. Roger had a match point in the third set. These guys have played some epic battles over the years. And whether it was hard court, clay, or grass, thanks for watching.